My name is Tylluan. I'm a solitary pagan witch. I'm an author and the founder of the Wolf and Howl Press. And today's little chat is about moving from maiden to mother in the craft. You know, we tend to say there's three stages: maiden, mother, crone, and the equivalent male, masculine version. But of course, we're becoming much more aware about gender now, and the different types of way we describe ourselves. So I have absolutely no wish to offend anybody, and all I can say is if you want 3 phases to your life, you are perfectly free to choose whichever phases you want. Create a name, it doesn't matter. It's your path, your life, and nobody should bother you with it or tell you that you're wrong. But unfortunately, and I'm seeing this a lot on social media lately, there are an awful lot of people who want to barge in and say, no, can't do this, can't do that. I've seen it with groups on plants, for example, using plants in magic, and some of you will know that I wrote a rather long book on the magical properties of plants, and one of the main things that I was saying was there are almost always there are several types of plant you can use in a spell, and the trick is discovering by looking at the plant, by learning about it, researching it, what its magical properties are and how you can use them. It is not for someone on Facebook or Twitter or wherever who has perhaps been following the craft, you know, for 5 minutes to turn around and say, no, you can't do that. You're not a proper witch if you do this and that. No, it's not true. So when we're talking about moving from one phase to another, beginning with the maiden stage, the first stage, the young stage, let's call it the young stage. People often, with maiden, they often use it in a sense of sexual inexperience, and it's nothing to do with that at all. It's about being spiritually inexperienced. It's about learning, suddenly starting to awaken to the wonders of the world around you, or its horrors. You know, it depends how your life pans out, really. You will find, as you grow up, there's a bit of both, and that's fine. That's fine. We've got to navigate our way through it. And I think that is a mistake we make. We tend to view it only as sexual inexperience. And another thing to bear in mind is there is no special age. I mean, the Anglo-Saxons, he found at about the age of 7, they started giving girls like brooches, brown brooches, saucer-shaped brooches, to hold their cloaks together. And we know this because of Anglo-Saxon burials. And as they got older, they came through different phases until they were considered an adult at about the age of 14. They had these bloody great brooches and chains to hold their cloaks together. And for the boys, they started having weapons. You find them in the graves. So they would have a little spear or a little arrow, and then eventually as they grew up, they'd have a sword. You know, things like that. Well, we don't have that so much. We don't have these rites of passage in quite the same way. And one problem we do find nowadays is that people want to either leave a particular stage too quickly, in other words, to grow up too quickly, or they want to stay young in the sense of being irresponsible and not taking responsibility for their actions. I know a couple of 60-year-olds who would fit into that category very well, where they will turn to say, oh, well, I don't know, you've got to tell me, you've got to guide me. And you think, look, if you've reached that age and you still don't know, there's something seriously amiss. Anyway, Mr. Penry will know exactly who I'm talking about, won't you, darling? Anyway, so the whole business about moving to one stage, and another thing to remember is that you never entirely leave a stage behind you. So just because you reach the second stage, normally called mother, but because that's the age group when most people have children, it's changing because people are tending to have children much older now, and people are living longer, so all the guides are out the window. But there is an element where you need to still remain in the first stage even when you enter the second, and the reason for that is if you do become a parent, and we can call it the parent stage or the second stage, whatever you like. If we do become a parent, we have to remember that our children are going to be entering this first stage. So we've got to be aware of it, and we've got to nurture it. We've got to help it along. I always tell this story about how one day I gave my children the day off from school. Shouldn't have done it. I mean, school would have been furious these days. They'd probably take me to court or something. But we had thick snow, and I said to the kids, come on, you're not going. They're only going to shut the school at, 10:30. So I said, come on, we'll go out for a walk. And that's what we did. And we saw all the lovely footprints of the birds and the little animals. And, oh, it's fantastic. You know, you could see the snow and it would fall off the branches of the trees and make a heck of a noise. It sounded like a drunk person crashing into a dustbin. And I think this is the sort of thing you need to keep on with. And even, I don't know if you can see this little person here. Come and lift your head, sweetheart. Come on. That's Tapio, actually. We've got a slightly different setup for the videos now to what we used to have. And, yeah, I know, darling, I know. He's got very interested, so I think he may turn out to be another Noah. And I will have to try to show him to you because he's gorgeous. He's such a lovely boy, he really is. And he so much wants to be involved, don't you? Yes. Apologies for that, that's just my kitchen. So I was saying, you know, you do have to nurture a certain sense of the other stages as you grow through them. You take them with you. That's what a lot of people don't understand. You take them with you. You don't leave them behind. You're not really like, whoa, this is it. I've gotten to the crone stage. Sod everything else. No, you don't. You go into the crone stage taking with you the other stages that you've been through, however long it's taken you to get there. And sometimes you have a couple of false starts. Anyway, I try to keep these videos short because I do appreciate the time that you give me by listening. And I don't want to take too much at a go. I'd rather do short videos and then we can catch up quicker. So I'll leave it at that for the moment, and thank you very much for listening. I hope it's been helpful. Bye.